All right, man. Peace. Hey, brothers, you ever come across anybody in life who, you might know them. They might be your homeboy, might just be an acquaintance or what have you. And they're going through a very rough patch. And instead of them taking accountability for the problems that they're having, they try to include you. They try to include you in the bad time that they're going through. Oh, well, I had asked you for them $5. And, if you had given me them $5, I wouldn't be getting evicted right now. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You're the one who has to handle your own life issues. And, that brings us to LeBron James. LeBron is going through a great time and a terrible time at the same time. His team is not going to make the playoffs. He recently just passed Michael Jordan for all-time points. Michael Jordan was previously number 4 on the all-time points scored list until LeBron was able to surpass him. And during the game in which LeBron James surpassed Michael Jordan in points scored, he wrote a little silly message on his sneaker claiming to quote-unquote thank Michael Jordan. As usual, LeBron is passive-aggressive. I think that Michael's done with LeBron. He's not really fucking with him. I think that Michael looks at LeBron like all astute men look at LeBron and his personality type. He's like a chick who don't know if she want to be with her man or not. So she either starts fights or she tries to act really submissive depending on her mood and what she might need from you. Either way, I think Michael's done with LeBron. So LeBron passes Michael in all-time points scored. He writes a little silly message on his sneaker. And Michael Jordan, in response, has an official letter of congratulations put out to the public, just making sure that he salutes LeBron for his achievement. Of course, that was not enough for Shannon Sharpe. As we know, Shannon Sharpe is LeBron James' #1 fan. Shannon Sharpe is very depressed at how things have gone this season for his boo thang LeBron. So that has caused him to find other people that he can blame or other channels that he can utilize to express how bad he feels and the amount of negativity that has been fomented in the LA Laker franchise by LeBron James and his inability to raise the level of play of his team and his teammates. So, of course, Shannon is going to set it on Michael Jordan because he's still bitter that LeBron James has not surpassed Michael Jordan as being the NBA's all-time modern player. When I say modern, I'm talking about from 1979 onward. The LeBron James superfans have been desperate to push LeBron as being greater than Jordan. And this season is going to be a major chink in the armor. So just the fact that Michael Jordan has injected himself into this narrative has given Shannon Sharpe the excuse to try to divert attention away from LeBron and to Jordan. So, of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
On Wednesday, LeBron said that passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list was right up there with winning a championship. He even thanked MJ on his shoes. Well, Jordan responded yesterday in a very short statement saying, quote, "I want to congratulate LeBron on achieving another great milestone during his amazing career." Did I read that right? We're joined by Rob Parker, but first, Shannon.
I myself thought that was a very nice message that Michael sent him because he didn't have to send him shit.
Shannon, I will start with you because your face says it all.
Wow. Shannon, was there more to that, or did that get cut off?
Really? Yeah. Really? Do you want me to read it again?
What happened?
Read
it again,
Jenny.
I like it. One more time.
I want to congratulate LeBron on achieving another great milestone during his amazing career.
Was that David Stern?
Really, Skip? That's where we at now. Michael Jordan, he can't even lose gracefully. Ain't that some shit? That message was shorter than the time it took me to lose my virginity, Skip Bayless. Can't believe this shit.
The former commissioner, who was that?
That was MJ.
Was that the tone that was written with?
That was the tone. It's not right.
You ought to be ashamed of your guy. You should be ashamed that he put this out.
Yeah, Skip, you should be ashamed and embarrassed, just like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan be out there watching. I really can't stand you. You see us going through this rough patch. You can't throw us a bouquet. I mean, shit.
This is embarrassing. And you know what? This is typical MJ, though, because he's done very little when it comes to acknowledging LeBron James. You know why?
He said Michael has done very little in terms of acknowledging LeBron James. It's like a couple of women at the prom who are upset that the captain of the football team won't look at them. What type of bullshit is that? He's done very little in acknowledging LeBron. I told you, these dudes want Michael Jordan to be their surrogate father. And not just LeBron James. A lot of these guys on the internet, too. I've told you brothers about this energy already, especially when it comes to Michael Jordan. A lot of these wokey-woke clowns, they want Michael Jordan to be their surrogate dad because they never had a dad in the home. Nothing against people like LeBron or Shannon Sharpe, but that energy, it emanates off of them. He has not acknowledged LeBron. Like, you know, when you write LeBron letter, it got to start with, my dearest LeBron. I just want to thank you for giving me the pleasure of watching you play and be better than me. And you are the greatest 6'9", 265 pounds of sexual chocolate I've ever seen. Thank you, LeBron. Signed, MJ. That's how it's supposed to go, Skip Bayless.
Why? Because since he retired, this was the only guy that's been viewed as a serious threat to him.
LeBron's been viewed as a serious threat to Michael Jordan by LeBron James' fan base. That's about it.
Kobe made it abundantly clear. He tried to emulate everything Michael Jordan did.
Well, not quite. It's actually the opposite. Kobe didn't make it clear that he was trying to emulate Michael Jordan, because when you make something clear, you say it. Kobe has actually done the opposite. He's always gone out of his way to claim that his hero growing up was Magic Johnson, which to me is just some insight into the mind of Kobe Bryant and how disingenuous and insincere a person he is, that he would basically mimic every aspect, not just of his basketball game, but his mannerisms and his speech patterns from Michael Jordan, and then get on camera and allege that his favorite player growing up was Magic Johnson, even though even his personality is diametrically a polar opposite from Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is gregarious and outgoing. Kobe is known for being relatively reticent and an introvert, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's who he is as a person. His style of play is completely more towards Jordan than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was known for liberally passing the ball and trying to empower his teammates. Kobe was known as the opposite. So I think that Kobe is trying to claim that he grew up a Magic Johnson fan, as opposed to acknowledging who his real guru is an attempt to play or at least in his mind, to create this alpha persona for himself where he does not have to give Jordan credit. Because if he were to say that he's patterned his entire game after Jordan, he can never be greater than him in his own mind. And Jordan knows that. Jordan understands it. That's why Jordan respects Kobe a little bit more, because Kobe is kind of a sadist. Now, LeBron is the opposite. LeBron's game does not really resemble Jordan's at all, but he's gone out of his way to try to mimic Jordan in every way, whether it's with the sneakers or with the movies or with the number, with the powder toss. So when you combine Kobe and LeBron James, you get Michael Jordan.
In an emulation, a copy can never be better than the original.
And you know
so he never viewed Kobe as a serious threat because you trying to be like me.
Well, not quite. Actually, a copy can be better than the original, or can be considered better than the original. I mean, but it depends on how you describe the term copy. If by copy you mean you're trying to emulate someone, that could mean that you take the great aspects of their style of play and you try to incorporate it within yourself and see if you could add wrinkles here or there. The real issue with Kobe is that Kobe just took from Michael, and there was nothing that Kobe did better than Michael. And I'm sure that many of his fans will get upset. They'll say, oh, that's not true. Kobe was a better shooter than Michael. Kobe had a better handle than Michael. I mean, you guys' definition of a great handle is somebody who can go in between the legs 5,000 times. Michael Jordan's handle was crisp. He never got the ball stolen from him, and he can get to the basket whenever he wanted. To me, that's a great handle. It just wasn't a quote-unquote fancy handle. And back in that era, they didn't allow guys to go in between the legs 5,000 times. That was a waste of time. I mean, you had to be a great guard just for them to allow you to take enough shots to average 25, 30 points a game. Because for the most part, they wanted the center and the small forward to do most of the scoring back in the 80s. So, I mean, there's just a different basketball paradigm back then. But I've said this in the past. What Kobe Bryant is Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan had smaller hands, a slower first step, and a lower basketball IQ.
And Shannon, if you ever close your eyes and listen to Kobe talk sometime, you would swear it was Michael Jordan.
Same inflection.
Am I right?
He copied.
Not only did he copy, he copied the way he walked.
He did.
He copied the way he hung his tongue out of his mouth. Everything. The sleeve on his calf rolled down there. Everything.
But he got a lot closer to Jordan than LeBron.
No,
he did.
Shots fired.
No, he didn't. You can't be close. You can't be close with only one regular season MVP.
I partially agree with that, and I've always said that that is a bit of a condemnation of Kobe Bryant. To me, that's confirmation that he was never universally considered the best player in the league during the best years of his career. A lot of Kobe fans get upset. I've seen many Kobe fans try to make the case that Kobe was robbed of MVPs in 5 different seasons. All this nonsense. Kobe got the MVP the year that he was supposed to get it. In the early 2000s, he wasn't as good as Shaq, and he wasn't as good as Tim Duncan. In the mid-2000s, he wasn't as good as Tim Duncan. A lot of you guys are going to get upset by this. I don't give a shit. And he wasn't even as impactful. Just as a player, he was not as impactful as Steve Nash in the mid-2000s. He was not. Now, in the late 2000s, you can make the case that that's when Kobe was at his best as a player, but LeBron James in the regular season had better stats than Kobe, and his team won more games. And remember, the MVP award is a regular season award. So in 2009 and 2010, the Cavaliers won more games in the regular season than Kobe's Lakers did, and LeBron had better stats. So that's why Kobe only has 1 MVP, and the year that he won the MVP, he deserved it in 08.
You can't be close with only 2 Finals MVP.
How about 5 championships?
Oh, so is that what? So is no? We go base.
Okay, that's where we're going, Skip. Okay, that's where we're going. Okay, so you know what? On my Mount Rushmore, I have Robert Horry, Sam Jones, and Bob Cousy. How you like that?
Basically, all her. You see? You see? Did you see what you did?
No, I didn't do anything.
You know, but
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you go. Now, this is what Michael Jordan did for Kobe in his final season when he came to Charlotte.
I can't believe this shit, Skip. Michael Jordan rented out a tuxedo for Kobe. He flew a blimp over Carolina when Kobe was there. And when Kobe finally passed Michael Jordan in points in Minnesota, he had a full-grown, naked midget pop out of a kick and say, "Thank you, Kobe, for passing me." Why you do that for Bron?
Okay.
A 1 minute and 40-second video tribute. None of this, oh, congratulations, LeBron, on your another milestone. Man, ooh, LeBron, it couldn't be me.
Yeah, it couldn't be you. Because your ass can't play basketball, that's number 1. But number 2, Shannon Sharpe, the energy that you put out is what you get back. When you're LeBron James and you're constantly trolling Michael Jordan and you're constantly harassing him, you're not going to get any respect or regard back. But Michael Jordan and proof is in the pudding. This is supposed to be your era. You formed super teams wherever you've gone in between the first time you left Cleveland up until you went to LA. So why do you only have 3 championships? That's Michael Jordan's attitude. You had about an 8-year stretch where you had the best team on paper in the NBA, and you only have 3 championships. Now, of course, you know, to give LeBron the benefit of the doubt, his last 2 years in Cleveland, you can make the case that they did not have the best team on paper because Golden State added Kevin Durant. But still, for a 6-year stretch, without a doubt, your team was considered to have the most raw talent of any team in the league. You were considered a player who made everybody else better. And you were only able to win 3 out of 6 years, and 2 of those championships, you really had no business even winning.
It couldn't be me. Because see, now Skip Bayless, I got to go on Instagram and I got to attack.
Michael Jordan, I'm going to spam your Instagram page. Wherever you at, Jumpman23, Michael Jordan drinks Hennessy 23, Michael Jordan loves smoking cigars, gambling, and popping Cuban bitches 45. I know all your Instagram pages, nigga. I'm on you like a rash.
You know,
Attack?
yes.
There was a response.
You can't attack Michael Jordan.
The bull
Damn, I can't. Damn, I can't. I promise you I'm going to be on his ass.
job.
And?
Skip, this is ridiculous, Skip. That's all you got? That generic bull job of a message of a man that's done that? Come.
Why should he have more than that, Shannon Sharpe? LeBron James has not been respectful to Michael Jordan for the last 5 years or so. I mean, honestly, if I was Michael Jordan, I wouldn't even give him that shit.
Come on, Mike. You always gonna be Michael Jordan because you did it first. Your shoes gonna keep you on Mount
He did it first and he did it best. The numbers and the championships tell us that.
Olympus for perpetuity.
Yep.
But you gotta.
For perpetuity. I mean, shit, I even got on a pair. That's one thing I'll give Mike credit over LeBron. I would never wear them damn clown shoes that LeBron make. Talking about the LeBron 16s. It's been 16 sets of clown shoes. That's why I tell LeBron James, what kind of bullshit is that? Skip, when I get in bed every night with Bron and Savannah, I look at Bron and I say, nigga, who gonna wear them ugly ass sneakers other than Ronald McDonald?
Gotta do it better. Come on now, Rob Parker.
No, I hear you, but Shannon, the only thing more embarrassing than that was the whole reception and ovation that Kobe got here in L.A.
I mean, you LeBron.
LeBron got here in L.A.
Yeah.
And just think about how that...
Because them Laker fans are not dealing with LeBron. They ain't fucking with him. That shit that he pulls in Cleveland where you guys should just be happy to have me, that bullshit don't work in L.A.
That went down, and I think that says a lot. It was totally, and I want to say this first, totally disrespectful by the L.A. fans. I get it. The season went around.
Wasn't disrespectful at all. The LA Laker fans understand that their team was trending towards making the playoffs until LeBron James and his team, talking about Rich Paul and Clutch Sports, decided that they were going to try to guerrilla the New Orleans Pelicans as opposed to just letting this season play out. That's all they had to do. Let the season play out, and then you could double down on the trade request in the offseason after the Lakers probably would have gotten to the second or maybe even the third round of the playoffs because they were starting to come together synergy-wise. But LeBron is so impatient, and he thinks that everything's supposed to go his way. He destroyed what little they were building. So he may have cost himself the chance of even threatening to win another championship.
Awry. You could say LeBron is unfocused, wasn't a good leader this year. You could say all of that. But in a magical moment like that, where the guy's wearing your uniform, and he's one of the greatest players, period, whether or not he's played here long enough, what they did that night was terrible. And the same thing with his teammates. I mean, LeBron had to go find Caruso to hug him and then say, hey, what's your name again?
Caruso was walking over to him.
No,
Rondo
but-
went right up.
Well, most of LeBron's teammates, they're out on him. They finished with him.
But you know what I mean. But it wasn't like, where was the players to come surround him?
Like
no other nugget. I'm not saying you got to go crazy, but out of respect,
Rob,
it's a big moment.
He tried to trade half the team at the deadline.
No,
What it reminded you of? When Barry Bonds hit the home run and they didn't pour out the dugouts and everybody hug him at home plate.
Right, but everybody knew none of Barry Bonds' teammates liked him.
He had to come in. He had to come in the dugout to get the praise and the adulation.
And then the
I
last
covered that team. I know that.
And the last part is, I blame the Lakers as well from this standpoint. They claim the NBA told them, we don't want you to stop the game. What nonsense. LeBron James going to pass Michael Jordan?
No. The Lakers, the Laker organization did LeBron James a favor. The reason why they did not want that game stopped for LeBron James to have a personal accolade is because they knew that the fans were going to boo him, and it would have been even clearer that he was getting booed if they would have stopped the contest. They did him a favor, Rob Parker. If they would have stopped that game, I promise you, what would have been trending is LeBron James gets booed as he passes Michael Jordan. How the hell are you going to salute someone who's supposed to be the best player in the NBA and he cannot even get you to the playoffs? You think the Laker fans are going to stand up and cheer for that? No way in hell.
What fine could they have given him if they stopped the game and did something? So for them to just say, oh, the league said don't do it and buy into that, that's a disrespect to LeBron as well. But when it comes to Michael Jordan, it's obvious. They don't have a close relationship, but I think it's because LeBron really is more like Magic than LeBron.
Another fake media narrative. I'll buy that LeBron is more like Magic than Michael, maybe personality-wise, with the fake happy demeanor and the Los Angeles Kabbalah shit. But, I mean, other than that, he does not really have anything in common with Magic on the basketball floor. When I see LeBron, I think Oscar Robertson 2.0.
Michael. And I think that's what it really stems from. That's why a lot of other players, when they talk about the GOAT, they include Kobe, even though most of the conversation is about Michael and LeBron. But
I also believe that Michael Jordan was offended that LeBron James not only was called the quote-unquote chosen one by the media, but had that tatted on his body from before he even stepped foot on an NBA floor. Michael Jordan has always been about showing and proving. If you watch any of his old interviews from when he was a rookie in the NBA, he stated himself, I feel like I'm starting from the very bottom of the totem pole and I have to work my way up. LeBron James would never say anything like that. He came into the league entitled. Fortunately for him, he was able to assume a certain level of the expectations that were placed upon him. But he overrates himself drastically. And I think that it turns off many of the previous NBA greats. And Michael Jordan's not the only guy who does not like LeBron James.
But you know this because Kobe had more of that killer instinct that you talk about, Skip. That's what players see. And that was more like Michael. And I think that's part of why maybe Michael hasn't had the same connection with LeBron. And you're right. Probably the closest guy to really challenge Michael. But I also believe that it's more about he's just not like what Michael was. Michael was a killer. And LeBron's a friendly guy who wants to get to know everybody. Hey, the game's on the line. I'll give you a chance to, here you go, you shoot the ball. That's something that you didn't see. And I'm not saying that.
Well, the main reason why LeBron does that is so that he can blame someone else if that player misses. If they make the basket, then he can say, I trust my teammates.
That Michael never did that, but LeBron has done that way more.
All I know is Magic, every time Magic stepped on the floor, he had a $1 million smile and was taking people out. So just this notion that you got to scowl and you got to wear a frown on your face to be a stone cold killer. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird was mean.
And I'll say this to you.
Well, let me say this. Magic was trying to take people out when he was on the basketball floor. But I think that what that truly proves is that LeBron James's personality is not like Magic Johnson on the basketball floor either. I think that off the court, they have much more in common and they're much more simpatico personality-wise. But on the floor, Magic was a fiercer competitor than even LeBron James. It's close because sometimes we tend to underrate LeBron as a competitor. He's a very fierce competitor. You cannot achieve as much as he's achieved in his career and not be a fierce competitor. But when it comes to competitiveness, it's Jordan, Kobe, Magic, Bird. I would take them all over LeBron. Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon. Just from a competitive standpoint, I would take them over LeBron.
To you, to just shut that down. The game is on the line, and you give the ball to Michael Jordan or to LeBron James and win the game. Who would you give it to?
I'm giving the ball to LeBron.
No, you.
Now, you know how we know Shannon full of shit? It took him so long to get that out. I'm giving the ball to... Skip, let's go to commercial. I can't even tell a lie on this shit.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
He's going to give it to somebody else.
Because he's going to pass it to George Hill so he can miss free throws. You know it, Shannon. Stop it.
Shannon needs to stop with that bullshit. Shannon is normally someone who's very honest. That's why it took him so long to get that lie out. It was very difficult for him to put that lie out there.
You would not give the ball to LeBron James. No, you would not. You want the best player.
I want to talk.
I also think Shannon getting paid by Clutch Sports and LeBron and them. Allegedly. But I believe that they greasing his pockets a little bit.
I'm going to talk about Michael Jordan.
Tell us.
I'm going to read this comment that came down from Mount Olympus in a different way.
Mount Olympus.
Yes, it
You
is.
didn't
He
like
lives
mine?
on the top. I'm going to
Okay.
give you...
Shannon, I was so happy when I read this. I said, oh, thank God. The king is returned. Long live the king.
This is the way it was intended.
Okay.
Oh, here's the real story.
I want to congratulate LeBron James on achieving another great milestone during his amazing career. Period. Send it out. He's...
Skip, no, because Skip's the one that typed it up. Michael had a cigar in his mouth and said, Skip, type up some shit for me, please. Hurry up with your old ass. Skip, anything you want, Michael. Click, click, click. He was on one of them old ass typewriters. Click, 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 click. Okay, it's all ready to go.
He said to the PR person who typed this, right?
Yes.
Get him.
That might be more accurate.
This is what you say when you feel compelled to say something
gotta say
because you're an
something.
NBA owner.
No, he said something because LeBron had that little blurb on his sneaker. That's why.
Right? And you are that guy, and so you have to say something, but you don't want to say anything. So that's what you say.
Yep.
Look, this dude LeBron James has been trying to wage a media war against Michael Jordan for the last, at the very least, 3 years. Maybe longer than that. He did a feature on one of these cable channels trying to, quote-unquote, expose Michael Jordan for not, quote-unquote, speaking up for the black community. All this bullshit, trying to highlight Jordan because, once again, he's trying to use fake wokeism and fake activism to become the all-time greatest NBA player, and he knows that Jordan is considered that. That's why LeBron is not going to talk about Tim Duncan or Hakeem Olajuwon or Shaq or Kobe or Magic Johnson or Isaiah Thomas or Dr. J for not being more, quote-unquote, socially active, because they're not considered the greatest player ever. Michael Jordan is. So that's why Jordan ain't feeling him, because he sees what LeBron is up to.
He is fortunate that yet Michael Jordan has not yet gone full-on Hall of Fame acceptance speech on LeBron James.
I agree with that, sir. I've stated that in other videos. LeBron James is very fortunate that that dragon known as Michael Jordan has not opened his eyes fully and decided to breathe that fire on his ass. Because I promise you, the thought has crossed his mind numerous times.
James. I remember that speech.
Do you?
Classic.
You know that one?
I do know it.
Yeah.
Hard to forget.
Oh my
Because
God.
there's a big part of Michael, because I think I know him well enough to know this, who would love to just unleash and unload on LeBron James
Absolutely.
right now, all in the mode of how dare you? How dare you write on your shoes on that night, thank you MJ23, and then put a crown on it. Thank you for inspiring me to be greater than you, because I am the king, not...
Well, Skip, I have to take the credit or the blame, whatever term you prefer to use for that one. I saw LeBron writing that shit to MJ on a sneaker. I said, nigga, you better end that shit with a crown. Don't never give that nigga too much credit. We the James family up in here, okay? You can't give that man too much credit. I mean, shit. We still trying to catch his ass.
Not you, I am the king.
Yes,
How
indeed.
dare you do that?
But you remember he said he was the GOAT. He knew when he was the GOAT.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Right. When they beat Golden State, he knew he was the GOAT. I forgot about that.
The crown bothered you that much. Just
it
that
really,
little crown.
and yes,
I couldn't believe it, Jenny. I read LeBron's message. I said, okay, it's okay. I saw that crying. I said, what the fuck? Oh my God. This guy just can't stop.
I was looking at LeBron's Instagram. I don't even follow him, but I looked it up just to see what he's...
You don't follow him. Please. You mean you don't follow him as Skip Bayless. You follow him as LeBron James, #2 fan. Because #1 is sitting right across from you.
What he's doing. And they're just crown emojis all over it. It's just crown, crown, crown. And then he dares, how dare him, to post a Photoshop picture of, can we see that?
MJ looking at it.
Like they're equals. They're sitting on they're sitting on the
I
same
like that.
pedestal
But look
looking
who in the
sideways.
front. Who in the front?
Oh,
Who in the front?
yeah, he's got a little edge on.
You don't think that was
Intentional?
Jordan a little bit?
It's artistic.
Yeah. You see? But who on the left and who on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Skip. Who in the driver's seat? I told LeBron when we did that little, that little Photoshop. I said, make sure that you're on the left because, nigga, you driving. Michael Jordan, he riding shotgun, so the hell with him. It's a new sheriff in town.
Now,
The headline.
Yeah.
What's
the message?
Left to right.
He's saying, I'm like Mike, except I'm better than Mike. That's what he's saying. Yes, he is.
Look, we equal.
Oh,
Skip, we ain't say all that, but it sound about right, but we ain't say it.
we equal. No, he's not. He is lucky that Michael Jordan didn't call a press conference yesterday and just unload all over him for the audacity to try to put himself above Michael
Really,
Jordan.
Jenny?
The audacity.
Shannon, really, when I first saw this, I spit out all my coffee. I said, oh my God, this Negro just won't stop. This LeBron James, I can't stand him. Shannon, honestly, I would love to just give him a noogie around top of that little ball spot on top of his head. I hate him.
City.
Really, Skip?
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. But he went the nice way out because he felt like he
Say
had
nothing.
to.
I'd rather him say nothing.
And you know what?
This was a nothing. This was a big old
It
fat
was
nothing
less
burger.
than nothing.
And Shannon, you should go YouTube when Kobe passed Michael Jordan and go see what they did in Minnesota for him.
Yeah, okay.
Go watch that video.
They didn't do that much more for Kobe. I mean, I remember that in Minnesota. They didn't do that much more. They did a bit more, but it wasn't that much more. Really, LeBron has no business being in LA, but I know why he's there.
That video.
I
They
remember
stopped
that.
the game and the fans went crazy. They didn't owe Kobe anything,
Wait.
but they understood the moment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Them fans in Minnesota did not go crazy. There were a bunch of Laker fans there, and the Laker fans went crazy.
Thank you.
Rob, you do not yet understand Los Angeles fans. It is what have you done for us? They don't care about anything that's happened outside of Hollywood. What have you done for Hollywood?
I get it, but my only thing is
I don't
in
care.
that moment, you have to, if you are a basketball fan and recognize what's going on, you got to give them more than that.
I don't care about the fans. If the fans, if you know what, when he broke the...
You know what, Skip? I'm out on LA and on the fans, okay? I never really liked the Lakers anyway. Shit. Only reason why I told Bron, okay, let's go out to LA, because I figured there's going to be some more bitches out here. We pretty much pop everything we want to pop. I'm ready to go back to Cleveland.
broke the record. If they wanted to turn their head for the exit, so be it. I'm talking about an all-time great NBA player giving that little acknowledgement. That's nothing. That's less than nothing. This is embarrassing. Michael Jordan should be embarrassed.
You know what? It was a pretty good.
Michael Jordan, I'm gonna let you know. I have about 400 pairs of your sneakers. Gonna be 2 pairs that's gonna get burned tonight. I'm gonna keep the other 398 pairs because I like them. But 2 pairs they're gonna get burned, thrown in the trash.
Good diss, right? Like a subtle diss.
I got one question. Will they, when he passes Kobe LeBron, and it happens in LA, will they boo?
Oh my God! I just hope that LeBron's not in LA at that time when he passes Kobe. Hopefully, he also has Secret Service security because it could be an assassination attempt.
Would they embrace that? Do you think?
About LeBron,
No, they're not going to embrace shit, Rob Parker. You already know that. You just said they didn't embrace LeBron when he passed Michael. Why would they embrace LeBron when he passes Kobe and points scored? I mean, come on.
I'm flipping everybody. I'm flipping everybody.
Hey, I'm gonna go one higher. Wait until he makes his run at Kareem. If in fact he can last long enough to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Staples, I don't know, man.
Okay.
Well, I actually think that the Laker fans favor Kobe over Kareem.
Even
What
worse.
I'm saying, look, but here's the thing: boo or not boo, cheer or not cheer, progress must progress.
Yeah, Skip. Hey, look, I mean, shit, we still gonna get paid, okay? And I promise you this: if I'm still working on this show, when LeBron finally passed Kobe and Kareem, I promise you I'm gonna come in here butt ass naked with just a LeBron James jersey on. I'm gonna take your wife and I'm gonna take Jenny. We're gonna have us a nice little time on you.
Okay.
We rolling, Skip. Now you can jump on the train and ride with us, or you'll get rolled over.
Okay.
The train just left the track. The train is 4 and 10 since LeBron came back.
Yeah, this show is not even a sports debate show. It's a comedy show.
Came back from injury.
We had the wrong conductor.
Oh,
so we just gotta
Skip, we gotta get rid of Luke Walton, okay? Luke is messing with everybody's legacy. He's messing with Lonzo Ball legacy. He's messing with my legacy. The Hall of Fame might take me out for being associated with Luke Walton.
Fire the coach.
That's what it was. Rob, thank you so much for joining us. Is the Warriors' reign about to...
But anyway, that's basically it on that. I'm not surprised that Michael Jordan's message to LeBron James was so terse. I think that LeBron James was fortunate to get anything from Michael Jordan. I think the only reason why he did is because of the message that he wrote to Jordan on his sneakers. So Michael knew that he would look bad if he did not respond. So peace.